All right, family, I want you to put your hands together. For our next storyteller, please welcome to the stage, Maxie Jones.
Thank you. So, Christmas Eve, 1980, I was a freshman in college. Thank you. And I was home for the holidays. And so was my best friend, Richard. He was also a freshman in college, and he was home from the holidays. Now, whereas I went to school in Buffalo, New York, which was 8 hours away from where we lived in the Bronx, Richard went to Westchester Community College, which was in White Plains, New York, about 20 miles outside of the Bronx. Now, Richard came to me on Christmas Eve, and he's like, hey, man, you want to take a ride with me? I need to go back to school, to my dorm, and get my check, because I know it's in the mail. So I was like, all right, let's go. So he said, hold up. I got to get the money from my mom so we can go. So he goes to his mom and goes, Mom, can we have money to go up there? His mother goes, how much? He goes, for me and Maxie, we got to take the bus across town. We got to take the Metro North to White Plains. $5 will do it. So his mother gives us $5. We go. We get on the bus, take the bus across town. We get on the Metro North train, go to White Plains. We get off the train. We go to the dorm. He checks the mail. There's his check. And he says, now, we got to go into the town, into the city of White Plains so I could cash it. So we walk down this long hill from the dormitory into the city of White Plains, and we go to the bank, and he pulls on the door, and it doesn't open. He pulls again, it doesn't open. And I say, hey, Rich, look at that sign. And it said, we will be closed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And right as we read that sign, it started to snow. Big, heavy, thick snow, where you know it's going to accumulate, and we're going to get stuck in White Plains, New York. So I said, Rich, let's get out of here. He goes, we can't. I said, why? He said, because we don't have money to get home. If I can't cash my check, we can't get home. Now, my first thought, I said, oh, man, don't worry about it. I'm going to call my sister Zita. Her boyfriend has a car. They'll come up here and get us. So I go to the payphone. This was 1980. Shut up. I go to the payphone, and I call my sister Collect. And of course, it's just Collect. She picks up. She's like, what is it now? I was like, Z, listen. Me and Richard, we up here in White Plains. We got no money. She's like, you two are just a couple of pigs. All you do is get yourself into trouble and call me for help. Well, I'm not helping you this time. Figure it out. And slams the phone on me. And I turn to Richard. He goes, so is she coming to get us? I was like, I don't think so, man. Well, what'd she say? She called us pigs, Rich. No, she's not coming. So I said, well, we're about 20 miles from home. If we start walking now, we'll make it by Christmas. He goes, nah, man, let's take a walk back to the dorm first. Let me check my room and see if maybe we left some money lying around or something. So we're walking back to the dorm. Now, this part is not really significant to the story, but I just got to tell you. We're walking back to the dorm, and we're on this real lonely road, trees on both sides, road ahead, untouched by snow. We're two guys from the Bronx, New York. I stopped. Richard goes, what the hell you stopped for? I go, look, Rich, it looks just like a postcard. Rich goes, all right, motherfucker, but keep walking. We got to get to... So we keep walking. Then we get to this point where Richard points straight up, and he goes, you see up that hill? That's where the dorm is. Now, we could take the long way around, or we could climb this hill. I was like, let's go. So we start climbing up the hill. We climb, and we get about halfway. We hear this dog barking at the top, so we stopped. We looked back down. It looked like a straight drop, and I turned to Rich. I said, why do I always get into shit like this when I'm with you? He says, because you're my best friend, man. I was like, you're right, man. Fuck that dog. Let's go to the top. We went to the top of the hill, and the dog ran away as soon as we got there. We go in the dorm, he checks the dorm, no money. So we leave in the dorm, we're like, well, I guess we walk into the Bronx. So we leave in the dorm and we hear some noise in another dorm room. He goes, this is my man Brett's room. Maybe he's home. Knocks on the door, Brett opens the door. He says, yo, what you guys doing here? Richard starts explaining. He says, man, me and my man Maxie, we came up here, cashed my check, the bank is closed. We don't have no money to get home. The guy goes, oh, that's no problem. He goes, he gets a nice crisp $5 bill and gives it to us. Oh, thanks, Brett, man. Come on, let's head on home, Rich. So we start walking to the train. Now we're walking. Another piece of the story that's not important. Another beautiful scene. I stopped. Richard goes, what you stopping for? I said, Merry Christmas, man. And Rich goes, listen, man, the train, let's go. Now, you know when the train is in the station and the doors are open, all you can imagine is that they're about to close. So we're running to the train, we're hauling ass to the train, right? We're hauling ass, we get to the train, we dive onto the train. Because we just imagine that the doors are about to close. We dive onto the train, the damn train doesn't leave for another 15 minutes. Everybody on the train is laughing at us. So we were on the train, we're headed home, and I said to Rich, I said, you know what, man, I learned my lesson from this. I said, I know from now on, I will never go anyplace else without having the money to get back home. Rich goes, yeah, you're right, man. And he says, given that I was going to come up here without the money to get back home, if anything, if I'm going to get stranded again, it's got to be with my best friend. Thank you very much.